Hello, this is Dr. Marge Maxwell in LITE 535 for the fall 2026 semester. The purpose of this video is to discuss Module 3, Designing Objectives and Assessment. So let's get to it. So you scroll down to the Module 3 folder and just click anywhere in the big box. We have several things in here. Let's look at the overview first. Let's see if I can make this a little bigger. In this module, you'll learn about writing objectives and rubrics and begin creating elements to be used in your upcoming IDP. This is, of course, this video. After completing the activities and assessment, you're going to create two 4-part or ABCD objectives for your one for your content and one for your technology. You're going to create a rubric, scoring rubric for both objectives. So the learning activities are of course, this video, a document on ABCD objectives, how to create rubrics, and this is one that I added right here on the types of rubrics. You click on it, and it discusses the difference in holistic, analytic, and single-point rubrics. You can go down. It tells you what each one is and gives you an example. Okay, so holistic, analytic, you'll see this is mostly what we use in this course, and then single point. Okay. I can see at lower grade levels, maybe using a single point rubric is almost more like a checklist. But at upper grades or adults, you're probably going to need an analytic rubric. You could do a holistic rubric. Okay. And the only thing you're submitting is your objectives and assessment worksheet by October the 4th. Okay, let's look at these readings, ABCD objectives. Can make it bigger. So this merely is a teaching document on the 4-part objectives. We call them ABCD. I do want to point out farther down, though, designing higher level thinking objectives, because this goes and gives you remember the Bloom's activity that you did, and it gives you the that worksheet pretty much with some example objectives, not activities, but it gives you sample objectives over here. So you're definitely going to want to scroll down to the analyzer higher and look at the types of objectives that were given here. These may help you in designing your objectives for your IDP. And if you selected a certain activity from Bloom's that you want to do in this IDP lesson, this will help you to create the right objective for that activity. And it goes all the way through, gives you an example for every cognitive process. And that's the end. All right, then that's how to do objectives, now how to create rubrics. And this is also a teaching document on how to create rubrics. I'm not going to read that to you. All right, here's an exemplar. Everybody wants an example. You know, the only thing wrong with giving an example to students is that they tend to copy yours. In fact, I know university professors that will not give an example because of that. But students tend to copy what you gave them. So please get creative, and you know yours doesn't have to be like this one. Okay, so you will give your content objective, your technology objective. Describe how you would present the directions for your students. Create an assessment rubric for each of your 2 objectives. So you're creating a rubric for your content objective. See, here's an analytic rubric. And you're creating a rubric, assessment rubric for the technology objective. Okay? Here is the holistic rubric for this assignment. This is how I will grade you. Okay? All right, so here is your worksheet that you'll be working from. You'll want to download it here because you'll be typing in this document. The purpose of this module is to create 4-part instructional objectives and post-assessment rubrics. So it tells you, of course, to read those things I just showed you. You'll use the lesson activity that you're planning to use that you put in the Bloom's activity, and you and I have probably already discussed or emailed about that. Make sure you write your objective for the lesson in specific ABCD format. You're doing 1 content and 1 technology objective. I know that in the schools, you create lots of little objectives. I kind of call them formative objectives, but this is like a summative objective of what you want students to learn in this lesson. What is almost like the summative? What's the end thing you want them to learn or be able to do? Describe how you would present the directions. Create an assessment rubric for each one. Your assessment rubric should have at least 4 scales, novice to distinguished, or you can decide on the columns. So we want you to do an analytic rubric. I'm not policing the number of dimensions and rows. You decide on what's needed. You're not required to use ChatGPT or other generative AI, but you are welcome to do so. Complete this form. Upload the form to Blackboard by the due date. Okay. So you just saw this in the exemplar. You simply fill this in, and then you're finished. And you submit it right here. Objectives and assessment worksheet submission. If you're doing it online, like a Google Doc, make sure it's published and make sure that you give me access to it. Give me editing access so that I can make comments for you. I will not review it unless I do have rights to your document so that I can make comments for you. If it's a local file, like a Microsoft Word, you just upload it. I will make comments within your document and then send that back to you. And that concludes your intro to the 3rd module. Please know again that I am available to you. You can text or email me anytime and set up a meeting. Be glad and happy to review these with you. That concludes this video.